Hi, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios and Her Majesty's Secret Podcast. We hope you're going to enjoy this Four-Eyed Radio presentation. For more shows and podcasts, visit foureyedradio.com. While you're at it, why don't you visit hermajestiespod.com/contest and enter the 007 Holiday Returns Contest. That's right, we all get presents we just don't want. We want to take them back. Well, that happens with movies too. And there's always something you want to take back from a Bond movie. Just one little thing that you would change if you could. Tell us all about it and win some fabulous 007 prizes right from the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Go to hermajestiespod.com/contest for all the details. Hey there, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios, and this Four-Eyed Radio presentation is being proudly brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Are you working? What kind of work do you do? Alright, what is it you want to do when you grow up?
Hey, yo, I'm gonna be a tit-out. That's all my eyes can see. Victory is mine, yeah, surprisingly. I've been waiting for your next mistake. I put in work and watch my status escalate. Now I'ma start collecting props, connecting plots, networking like a conference. Cause the nonsense is yet to stop. Shake me down, haters wanna take me down, break me down, clap, all they heard was a sound. Yo, I scoped it out, I took your weak dream and choked it out. Your bitch don't really got no ass, she just poked it out on the D-Lo. I'm saying you versus me, ho, we can do this shit right here in front of your people. See, time is money, kid, and BS walks. And to me, it's funny, kid, when you meet heads talk. I see feds talk, they wanna dig up the dirt, son. Is it me they hawk? Cause I be putting in work, son. Gonna be a tit-up, that's all my eyes can see. Victory is mine, yeah, surprisingly. I've been waiting for your next mistake. I put in work and watch my status escalate.
Son, is it me they hawking? Cause I be putting in work, son.
Oh my God, you clocked in right now, dude?
We're so clocked in. MJT and JT have just clocked into work.
Work, dude. Putting in work. Because I be putting in work. You forget about that song. That song gets forgotten about. Forgetting about it. You're forgetting about it.
That song is one of those songs, yeah, whenever it plays, you're like, this fucking song.
Yeah, it'll be on at a jukebox.
I'll tell you right now, if anybody, I could be 30 minutes deep into my top 10 songs of all time, and somebody would come in and be like, did you consider the track Work by Gangstar?
Damn,
I'd be like,
I didn't even
motherfucker,
think about it.
let me slot it in at 7 and work around it.
That's true. That's a hit, dude. That's a hit.
It's just a good song. And you know what's good about it? 3 minutes long, straight to the point.
They're putting in work.
They're putting in work.
Yeah,
yeah.
Are you kidding me? They're not time for this shit.
Out.
Putting in work. Clocked in, clocked
DJ
out.
Premier, rest in peace, Guru.
Absolutely. Yeah, cheers to Guru.
Cheers to Guru.
Yeah. Pour a little out for the homies there.
I know, EVP, big Guru fan.
Evan Pearson? Absolutely, man. That guy loves. That's an early Evan Pearson reference. What up, Ev? What up, Ev dog?
Shout out to Evan.
Haven't seen you in a long time,
We
man.
see your Buckeyes, bro. They're coming up in the world.
Look at that. Look up, Bucks.
Also, another shout out on the front end of the show. I've gotten some love. We always get love from everybody, and we appreciate everybody that listens. We got a nice little shout out from an old high school buddy that you know and I know, Mason Quick.
Did he? I haven't talked to Mason.
Cue ball. Dr. Quick.
It feels like a whole month of Sundays since I've seen Mason Quick.
Dr. Quick, medicine man, is he's working, I believe, if I'm correct, I believe he's in Alabama, in Huntsville, doing stuff with NASA. I probably shouldn't even be talking about this on the internet, but I think he landed that thing on the comet today. I think that was him.
That was him?
Yeah. It's
Really?
been in the works for about 10 years, but I think he did it.
He was the guy. Cue ball.
No, but either way, he was saying he's listening. He loves it. Shout out to Dr. Quick.
Oh, that's awesome. That's always good to hear.
Also, that's awesome that you have a friend that's a doctor. And I'll tell you right now, no disrespect to our buddy Mason here. If I had all the money in the world, I would not have said that Mason would have been the first doctor friend I had.
Yeah, no disrespect meant at all.
No disrespect at all.
I'm going to second that emotion.
Yeah.
Knowing him.
Respect.
Knowing him at 16, 17. Yeah, you didn't see that coming. But hey, man, everybody has that's their path. You might have a. It is what it is.
I'll tell you right
what
now.
he learned back then brought him to where he is today.
And he did it with he looked up at the stars and he was a philosophizer.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah, you ever hang out with him back then? He had some things
he was
to say
amazing.
about.
So in hindsight, it does make sense.
Absolutely.
But That's neither here nor there.
Love you, Cue Ball. Come back to Phoenix, man.
Cue Ball, and we segued from classic hip hop to Cue Ball because he has bars.
Yeah.
Nasty
but
Natty. Yeah, Gangstar. We were just how did we get to Gangstar even? We were just bumping
We went-
Lyricist Lounge too.
Yeah, we digress. All of a sudden, we quickly remembered that Lyricist Lounge 2 was a thing. And then it's one of those albums that you forget about, and then we were like, oh my God, this track is on here? Because we should talk about that for a moment, because Gangstar is one thing, but that album, Lyricist Lounge 2, I remember another Evan Pearson
Guru's
situation.
on it.
Guru's on it, of
Yeah.
course. And that's how we got to just playing a Gangstar song.
Right.
But
We didn't want to hit you with "I've Committed Murder" featuring Macy
I've
Gray and
committed
Most.
murder,
even
and I
though
think I got away.
it's a banger though.
But I remember high school. That was it. I think everybody had that one. You had to have it, and it was the you put it in the CD case, and when you're scrolling through that CD case, and you just see it, it was like orange and black, and an MC was on there screaming with the microphone. It was a great feeling when you came to that, and you're like, yeah, let's throw this in and listen to every track.
Well, and you brought up a good point about the physical act of flipping through the CD.
And you see
Isn't that something that's weird that'll never happen ever again?
Actually, I mean, it still
That's
happens.
It will
But it's
never,
very nostalgic
It will
feel.
stop. And I guess it might not stop because there's you know that vinyl was sold the most it's ever been sold since like 1980 something.
Recently?
Last year.
Really?
And it's because of that retro feel, and I think people are realizing tangible.
How about 15
something
years?
that's tangible is crazy, and a CD was tangible. to
Exactly.
us.
How about 15 years from now, when let's say some 16-year-old gets his dad's old car or something like that, and it's only got a CD player in there,
But it's a
And he's-
classic
and you
09
hand him-
Sonata.
and you hand a clean ass Sonata,
A clean-ass
and you hand
Sonata.
him that CD case,
Yeah.
and you're like, "This is the future. This is the secret to everything. Just flip through this and listen to it."
I've got a CD. I got a
You
couple
got a
of CD.
hell of a case
I'll
over
tell you
there.
right now.
Hell
I've
of a
got-
case.
Yeah, it's a lot of. I was heavy into purchasing hip hop albums. I've got a couple of different things in there, but
There's some duds.
I'll
in
tell you
there.
right now.
There's a couple
There's
duds in there too.
oh yeah, there's some blanks.
Yeah, no,
But-
I mean duds, bad CDs. I
Come
mean,
on now.
Good Charlotte's in there, man. I think it's still in the back
Well,
of that CD
it
case.
is their best work.
Yeah. Little things.
Yeah, but man, that is something to think about. CDs will and tapes came and went pretty quickly.
I'm just saying it was funny when you'd be driving around with your friends, and like I remember always being in Susko's car, and he'd like, all right, you pass the CD book
Yeah.
back, like, all
Do
right, your
something
turn,
with
then
it.
find it,
Do
And
something
then
with it.
You'd be like, oh, don't even look at it, don't even look at it,
Yeah,
don't
just
look at the
put
CD,
it
just
in.
put it in.
Yeah.
Those are funny moments. Seriously, don't look at it. Like
And
I
now-
found it, dude.
And now all this music is in the cloud.
Yeah. It's a little, but you can
It's
still
weird.
do it. Like you're good at the auxiliary cord with the Spotify and Uber.
Oh, I'll crush it.
But
You'll
those
never see it
those
coming.
were moments you don't get back.
That is
Handing
mine.
the CD case off, and he hands up just put it in and don't look at it.
I will tell you right now. My first question to any Uber driver is: you got an auxiliary cord?
And it's a good
You
question.
got an auxiliary cord in this bad boy?
You don't, because I have one right here
And
in my cargo pocket.
But you also brought up another interesting point. I think we're just going on tangents here now. But I heard a comedian say this, and I'd never thought about it the way that he presented it. Because he was driving a classic Mercedes-Benz. He's driving around the country. He's doing a tour.
Right.
Ron Babcock, very funny man. I think he's already been back east. But if you see Ron Babcock, he's doing a tour right now. Bends it like Babcock is what the tour is. Either way, it's a classic car though he's driving around.
He's literally taking.
And he
his car
brought
all
up
over
the fact that he's taking this car
across the country. That's where he's going.
yeah, and but like 25 years from now, I mean, you think that you're going to be passing a car down to your son or something like that? Like, what if I have a 09 Sonata? It's a nice car.
It is.
It's A to B. Got some zip on the highway. I'll get you up to 80 real quick. But
Jesus Christ.
that is not like a, or like a RAV4. You imagine passing a RAV4 on to your son?
Son's
Like,
going to hate you forever.
like they don't make them
that.
like they used to. Like this thing shakes after 65, man. They don't
You
do
better
that anymore.
hold on, man.
Yeah, hold on.
Because this is dangerous.
Yeah,
I've
this-
just given you a death machine.
97 RAV4. Here you go, son. It's weird. We don't make classic cars anymore.
And everything has an auxiliary cord.
Well, goddamn it better.
It better, but I'm just saying those were good days, man. Those were good days with the CD player. Just the CD player. Remember when there wasn't a CD player?
Yeah.
We're old enough to remember that.
Remember when? Yeah, that is crazy too. Remember when you had a car and you only had the tape player and you were the asshole?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
now
like, really,
dude? And now
you're playing that
need,
out of your Walkman, bro?
Yeah. And now you're an asshole if you don't have an auxiliary cord.
You're not really an asshole. You want to just all. Yeah,
I'll tell you right now, and I'll say it. You're an asshole.
You're an asshole if you don't have an auxiliary
You're a
cord.
jackass.
We have really taken this beginning here. Welcome to the Brothers Turner podcast.
Episode 27.
27. You are, my friend, 27 years old. I'd like to dive into that. You're going to be turning
27. I was going to say Steve Atwater.
Steve Atwater was good, man.
Good number 27.
Wasn't John Lynch, or is that 37?
John Lynch was 47.
Jesus. 20 off. Wow. Unbelievable.
27. Another good 27.
Jose Rio.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I think
Jose Rio's really good.
Close the book on that one.
Jose Rio's really good. There's some other good 27s.
Steve Atwater was, I think he was 27, wasn't he? Steve Atwater?
I can't be sure, but I know that Jose Rio is.
Yeah.
Here's what I wanted to say. You're 27.
I think, yeah.
I wrote it down here. When I wrote down podcast number 27, I said, Michael Turner's 27.
Yeah.
You're about to be 28. How do you feel about that?
Well, I read in places that at 27, as far as a male's development, the frontal lobe is fully grown.
Right.
So your brain is completely developed, supposedly.
Yeah.
In this range between 26 and 28. And you're supposed to be
in your prime.
It's I think, and I talk about this a lot on stage actually this past year. You've seen me talk about it a lot. I think I've got some pretty good material about it. But 27 is an interesting age. It is an age where things start to kind of click. I always say that at 27, first of all, at 27, you should have really experienced, hopefully you've experienced both love and heartbreak by that age. I think that that's fair.
No, I wouldn't say hopefully, but yes, it's probably.
I think that those are things that are important to have experienced by 27.
Very true. Very
I
true,
wish
very true.
I wish heartbreak on everybody because you got to know that.
You got to learn.
You got to learn. You should have significant highs and lows in your life by the age of 27. And really, hopefully, you've gained perspective from them all. And then, we always say, we were talking about it recently, how the radio is not speaking for you anymore.
Right.
You might be 27 and still really feeling what Nicki Minaj is talking about.
No, I can't relate.
But that's an immature 27, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't relate to shit on there. So it is an interesting age. I think it's that age where I've finally really gained enough perspective to kind of have a better grip on things a little bit, or at least I try to. And I actually like where I'm at now as far as clarity on who I am and stuff like that. So I can't complain.
Yeah, dude. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's good. Did you feel that way at that age? I don't know. You just hit 30, so you're 3 years into clarity.
It's no, you definitely I started to I don't know, you just kind of make a decision. You're like, I'm not going to do what I don't want to do. I'm not going to.
It's that John Mayer lyric.
But you really do. You're like,
oh yeah.
You're like, listen, man. I mean, I'm not going to do that. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. And I'm
tired of faking what I won't be.
27 was good. I think I got fired when I was 27. I think I got fired from my job.
You did. That was a low.
And that was a low. But it was, like you said, you got to experience those highs and lows. I got fired from my job, and it was honestly the best thing that ever could have happened to me.
Yeah.
And total reality check, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you got to fucking figure some things out. Not to say I've figured it out and I'm working in Huntsville, Alabama for NASA, but you know what I'm saying?
Huh?
I'm doing much better and making better decisions, I'd like to think. And I think that you, my friend, my brother, are doing the same as well. And I think 28 is going to be the best year of your life.
Well, I appreciate that.
You only got a couple weeks left, man, being 27.
Yeah, I'll be 20, and what John is insinuating is I'm aging soon, and I'll be 28 in a couple weeks. So, yeah, I never really hype it too much. Birthdays are always weird to me. They fly by quicker, though, now.
Oh, do they not? All of a sudden it's Christmas.
I'll be a motherfucker.
Yeah,
I'll
Christmas.
Be 28.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've achieved a lot in this past year, but at the same time, it's that there's a lot more. Age is a weird thing because age is... it's almost really a false. Every time you age, it's this false finish line of what you're supposed to be based on society's expectations. And it's not fair that it is that, but that is what age is.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to be this by this age. You're supposed to, I'm in the age where now it's like, well, you're not even close to being married. What's going on with you? It's like, well, fuck you. I don't know.
Everybody's a different path.
Yeah. Well, let me have a different path.
And you used to be worried about it, right?
Me?
No, not well. I don't know if you were ever actually
The ubiquitous you?
Yeah. But when you were 22, and you're like,
people were worried about it.
I think everybody had a plan. I would say that I had a plan.
I never.
When you're
had
21
a
or 22,
plan.
you're like, I should be. When you're 18, you're like, in 10 years from now, I'll probably be married with a kid or something. Just because. But everybody has a different path, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and I don't know. And maybe I'm selfish, but I always focused on me and where I would be, and I thought that by 30. I would be in a financial. I always measured it by financial success, and that might be because we grew up maybe a little less under the financial barrier, maybe than we wanted to be, and I always wanted more money because it's America, right? And that's all they tell us that we need.
Yeah.
And I think I've since realized that I really just want to be happy, and that's probably why I dove into comedy. Because there's no money in that, but I think I figured out something that I really, really enjoyed doing and being about. And but that was all I thought about earlier in my life. It was like, well, by 30, I'll just, be financially stable and crushing it. And I always want to make more money. Money is always a factor.
Sure, absolutely. But you got to have balance, and you got to be emotionally happy, and I think you are.
I'm getting there. There's always ups and downs, and it's all about. Sometimes you think about it as balance, and sometimes it's more harmony, because there's so many things going on. Balance assumes that you're talking about two things,
right? And
harmony is really making it all work together. And but sometimes we get deep on this thing.
Hey, it's early, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's early in the podcast, and we're hitting some deep points. But is anybody crying out there?
I do think that's true, though. I think, and I brought that up one time on a meeting. An old boss I had. He was a sharp guy, and I talked about where I was, and I talked about this balance. But you talk about a balance, and you're talking about. Well, you're taking this thing and you got another seesaw on the other end, and you're balancing these two things. But life is so much more than two things. It's about it's not about evening them out. It's about making them all work together and being harmonious. And it was a good perspective that I was.
Yeah, and to realize that there's going to be bad too. Life, love, stress, and setbacks.
For those trying to breathe,
it's going to happen, man.
But
it's not all going to be rainbows
setbacks.
And butterflies. It's compromise.
I always assume that the worst thing will happen. So every day that doesn't happen, take a step forward.
I think that's a Bengals fan mentality right there.
You ever think about how we actually benefit from having grown up in the worst sports experience ever? You ever think about that?
No, I really do.
I
Because
do.
If you have no expectations, if you go into every game thinking, hey, we're probably going to lose this thing. And if we win, fucking great. Why not?
You know who's got no perspective? Kids that have grown up in the Boston area,
San
the past
Francisco
10, 15
area
years.
Also, as well, from the 80s.
Well, from the 80s, yeah, those guys are pricks. But we really do, and I don't know, that's probably a silly thing to compare it to, but I really think that we grew up in a city that connected to these teams very much so. And you just want to talk, those are real. I'll tell you right now, I cried when Kenyon Martin, when they lost that year.
Oh, yeah.
And he broke his leg, and I was and I was probably 12 maybe.
Yeah, I cried.
I was just torn up.
Yeah, Dad
I put so much into that year.
Told me in the car, man. Got in the car. Dad told I was like, did we win? I was like, did we win? He's like, we won. I'm like, nice. He's like, but Kenyon Martin broke his leg.
Ah,
it was heart crushing. But yeah, you go through that stuff.
We've hit all these lows, and every time you think there's a high, we're always very cautious of the low.
Oh, we were throwing. Do you remember when we were 3-0 earlier this year, the Bengals? And it was like it was Captain Pump the Brakes. Everybody calm down.
I hate when people are coming up to me. It's like you don't know who you're talking about,
and we have so far.
And yeah, we've completely shitted on ourselves.
Yeah, let's dive into that really quick. I don't want to talk about it too long because it is depressing. But Thursday was a tough day. When we got off the air, off our podcast last week, I think we said, God bless the Bengals over the day, win the game. That was a tough Thursday.
That was a low
What were your thoughts? Did you watch it? You watched it with me.
I was sitting at a bar with you. Well, I sat here at my house, at our house, watched the first half, and then we had a buddy that was in town. P. Lynch.
Yeah.
Who I believe we talked about last week. He was the guy that I went to the Utah game with, the Arizona State-Utah game with. He actually stayed in town through Thursday or Friday of last week.
Right. So he
and
came.
we went out and watched that game, and John is a bartender at a good little spot in Old Town Scottsdale. Everything was good. Except for the whole, game.
Except for the fact that we were getting our ass kicked.
And the worst thing was, I'm sitting there with an old buddy, and we haven't really gotten a chance. We've been drinking all week. Every time we hung out, it wasn't really, let's talk about what's really going on.
Right.
I mean, he's getting married, and he's got a lot of shit going on. And so we're sitting down, and, no disrespect to him, but he's trying to talk to me about some stuff. And I'm like, are you fucking serious
so
right now,
angry.
man?
Yeah.
Really? You're gonna bring up how happy you are with your life right now?
Like, everything's good, bro. Like, the Seahawks just won the Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, he's a Seahawks fan. Oh, so that was a tough night, and I ended up getting real drunk.
That was actually for me. It was. I mean, it
ended up being a fine night because we.
I mean, when you lose like that, you just got to be like, okay, like I'm not even going to think about that because that was the worst thing to ever happen. But it ended up being a funny night.
Well, yeah, because of good friends.
Yes, and Paul Allen.
And after that game, yeah. John? You got the sober perspective on that.
So while that's all going on, you guys, you drunk Bengals fans, are there. There's a gentleman at the end of the bar, and he is he's kind of weird. He's wearing a hat. He's got a goatee on, and he asked me to order.
He's by himself.
He's by himself. He asked me to order for him everything. He asked me to order everything for him.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. What'd you get him?
Order a glass of wine. He was like, whatever you want, whatever you like. And I'm like, all right.
What'd you get him for pizza?
Pizza. I got him a white pizza, garlic. I asked him if he liked cheese, like just cheese, like plain. I said, do you like anything? He's like, I like, just like one topping. So I hit him with. Anyways, it was like white with olive oil and garlic. It's good.
Is it? Huh.
So I get him a glass of wine and the pizza, and we eat, and whatever. You guys are. I mean, it was awful. It was an awful loss. I was sober, so I was handling it much better. But you guys were loud and drunk and upset about the game, and he's sitting there the whole time. And at the end, everybody's kind of clearing out, and you guys are still there. And he asked me to call him a cab. Tells me his name's Paul. And I come back, and he's like, and I'm like, you need to pay your tab before you leave. And he's like, do you know who Paul Allen is? And I'm like, yes, I know who Paul Allen is. He's like, do you know what he looks like? And I'm like, no. And I was like, and he says, well, I didn't think so. And at this point, I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on? Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, what the hell? And so then he tells me, so I walk away and I come back, and he's got a $100 bill. The tab's like $14 or something like that. And he's like, I want you to buy these Bengals fans a round of drinks, and I want you to tell them it's on the Seattle Seahawks. And I'm like, what are you talking about, And so he gives me the $100 bill. I go bring everything in and bring him back the change, and it ended up being like $70 worth of change. He's like, no, that's for you.
Yeah.
Just tell him that this is on the Seattle Seahawks. Or he's told me to wait until he leaves.
Yeah, he promised. You had to promise.
He made me promise to wait until he leaves and then tell him that this is on the Seattle Seahawks. And so he leaves, and immediately, the thing is, you guys were drunk. I'm like, listen, that was Paul Allen.
But we were with a Seattle fan.
Yes, we were with a Seattle fan.
And he
was
was
weird
like,
enough, and it was crazy. And then, so the cab's coming. I tell him the cab's coming, and the cab shows up, and he goes outside. And when I'm telling you all this, we look over, and he like peeks his head around the corner through the window to look at us. And Pat's like, "Hey, Pat's freaking out because he's a Seattle fan." And he tries to go talk to him, and he hops in the cab and leaves. And then we Google pictures of Paul Allen. It was, I am 95% sure it was Paul Allen. I mean, I can't be. Of course, I can't be.
Because I was drunk, and I remember there was a guy that was kind of just sitting there. And as far as like age and like look and stuff, because we looked up those pictures too.
It looked like him. It looked like him, but he had a goatee and he had a hat on.
Right, and it was just really cool. And I've heard also he's a very cool guy.
Yeah.
And he. I don't know. Yeah, but we got people questioning.
Everybody's. Oh, yeah. Everybody.
I didn't even think about it because then I put something on Facebook, and But that was a cool little story.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It was him, man.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, then great.
That's no. The thing that, and we talked about that later in the night, is if it wasn't him, strangest human being.
Yeah, that guy's
ever.
a weird cat, dude.
Because I'm telling you, if you fake you're Paul Allen, if you fake act like you are Paul Allen, but you don't reap any of the benefits of being
and you
Paul
just
Allen,
give the guy $70.
that's not what you do. If you're a guy that's faking being Paul Allen,
Right.
That's not how you do it. You sit up, you pull your dick out, and you fucking.
What's up? Where are you going with
If
this?
I was,
You pull your dick out?
I'm hypothetically speaking. I've thought about
Paul
owning,
Allen taking my dick out at the bar.
I own Microsoft.
Yeah, you take a dick out wherever you go.
I'm macro hard.
But
now.
and then I was
Not
watching
Microsoft.
YouTube. He did speak
Play
with
on
like
You didn't respect
almost Canadian-esque, like Seattle. Like he had like a little bit of a. Not
I
Canadian
believe it,
accent.
dude. I believe it.
People believe what
I
you
don't
want to
just.
believe.
Yeah, I saw it all happen, and I was right next to it, and that was why I was so ashamed of myself because I closed him off. I looked at him a couple times, and I'll tell you right now, I couldn't have picked out Paul Allen.
You're normally a very you are out there. You're outgoing at the bar. You're talking to
I
everybody.
usually open up the conversation. We were in a post Bengals
24-3.
Yeah, we were in a post Bengals deep depression, and the conversation I was having with two other Bengals fans got a little dark. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that happens. Dude.
And he probably honestly heard some of the shit we were talking about because he was within earshot.
Well, yeah, and you were throwing me under the bus about not being from Cincinnati. That was crazy.
I was
man.
in a dark place.
You're like, Johnny's not even from Cincinnati. Ask him. That was crazy, man.
John is working, and I told Pat to ask John if he was born and raised in Cincinnati. And John looks back at Pat with no hesitation and confidently says, "Born raised, born raised, Cincinnati." And Pat was like, "That's not what I heard, man."
Dude, from my perspective,
because you are born. John is technically born.
No, I'm not technically. I was born in Cincinnati, in New York City.
New York City.
And then a week later, I moved to Cincinnati, Ohio.
Right.
But explaining that to Pat at that moment, I thought he was just asking, "Were you born?"
Born and raised.
Yeah.
You leaned in. First of all, it's funny because I saw you. I watched you lean in and say "born and raised," and I was dying because.
Yeah, this is like right after the game.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, yeah, I'm a fucking Jets Mets guy. Yeah. That's me. Yeah, I'm a big Jets fan, and I'm also a huge Mets fan.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Ugh.
It was a dark place.
Thursday.
That was a dark Thursday.
So that's being a Bengals fan, though. And whatever we get, I don't know. I don't know what to think because then you go into the weekend and you're like, "Fuck this." Pittsburgh's going to win. Baltimore's going to win. Baltimore does win, but they already lost the week before. Pittsburgh loses to the Jets.
That was great. That was good.
Pittsburgh loses
really
to the Jets.
Really good feeling.
And I love that.
Fuck
them. I love that. I would have loved to have. And then you're thinking, fuck, if we would have beat the Browns, we'd have been up this. Yeah. It's all fucked up. The AFC North is easily the most unpredictable division in the NFL.
But thank
I have no idea.
God the Steelers lost that game.
Well, it makes me feel good, but it also makes you feel
Of course,
like you've lost an opportunity. And then, I don't know what the fuck to think. Fuck Andy Dalton this week.
Yeah.
Hate how he made me feel. Why do you do that to me? I go all out for you. I feel like you never even meet me halfway.
I've been so staunchly in your corner.
Staunchly
When will you be in mine? When will you be in mine, Andy?
And then Jeremy Hill fumbles. And then he's talking shit.
I kind of like what he said.
He's young. You don't say that, though. I've listened to him.
Because I like that we're going up to Cleveland. I want to play. I can't wait for that game up in Cleveland.
This whole season's coming down to Cleveland and Pittsburgh games.
We've been saying it since week 1. It's always coming down to those games. And here's the thing that's frustrating is we still can control our destiny because we still have those games to play. It's not like we're behind and we have to hope that somebody loses. We still have a chance to go in and beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh or win at home or beat Cleveland. We have chances, but the way they play right now does not give me any confidence that they're going to do anything like that. But That's the beautiful thing about the NFL. Look what the Steelers. Here's what the Steelers did last week. They threw 6 touchdowns,
12 over 2 weeks,
and they looked incredible, right?
2 weeks,
Unbeatable.
yeah.
And then they lose to the Jets. So you just don't
And he
know.
throws 3 picks to a team that is like last in the league in pass defense.
It makes no sense. So the NFL this year, especially, does not make any sense.
And you know what? At the end of the day, the more I watch it, I love focusing on our team. The Bengals are the Bengals. That's the squad. Gotta love them. The NFL to me is not that exciting. Isn't it weird to you? I don't know. I just can't put my finger on it.
I can't put my
whole foot on it.
I can't put my entire foot on the NFL. I'm gonna start using that. Can you say that?
Yeah, it's a saying.
Can't put my foot on it.
It's an old Irish proverb. The I don't know. I just don't. It's
Enjoy
like
it
every
as much
week.
as you
It's
used
like,
to?
what the fuck is this?
It's weird.
It's all the same team, and everybody's got the same chance. It's just It
used to be a little more dramatic.
It's just not that fun. I don't know. And I guess on the counter argument of that, college football is probably as good as it's ever been.
Dude. You
don't you think?
Had a hell of a weekend. I text you on Saturday. First of all, I don't know why. Did you at some point were you not going to go to the game on Saturday, or did I dream that up?
I didn't know that I was going to the game, and we're talking about
ASU
the Arizona
versus Notre
State
Dame
versus Notre Dame game.
Did you say that at some point during the week?
I did not know I was going to the game until Friday evening.
Okay, because I had spoken to you maybe Thursday night, and you're like, "I'm not going to the game," or "I'm not."
No, I knew there was a 75% chance
at some point. Oh, my last thinking was that you're not going to the game.
You don't listen.
Well, what you told me was that you weren't going to the game.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know.
So Saturday, I'm coming back to the house. I'm thinking, let's get a little zoned up here. You know what I'm saying? Let's get ready for a big game. Yeah. Well, not the Bone Zone. That's it's a different place. That's a different place. But and I'm texting you like, you want me to bring anything back to the house? You're like, nah, good. Just what did you say? Just Devil's W.
Yeah,
Devil's W. And I got back, and I'm like, where's Mike? Adam's like, oh, he's at the game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Mike's at the game? And then I text you, and you're like, I'm so in the building. I think you just text me a picture of where you were sitting, which is an incredible answer to, are you at the game? I'm at the game.
Yeah, it's the only answer I give people sometimes.
And it was a beautiful day. I mean,
it was a little
I didn't
hot.
go to ASU, but it was, when it came, I'm just saying from watching on TV, when it came on,
how did it look on TV?
Oh, my God.
Because you know what? Sometimes I like to
dude.
watch it on TV just to see what the nation is seeing.
The Goodyear shots of Sundover Stadium, and just like when it started up, and all of a sudden they show the fans, and you guys are shaking the keys. The student section's going nuts. People are going crazy.
I do this.
But they still didn't fill the stadium up.
No, it's sold out.
I'd like to say
it was
that.
A couple little corners.
What's going on?
I do the Devils thing, but also shake it.
You shake the keys?
Oh yeah, I shake the keys.
Yeah.
You got to shake the keys.
I feel like a lot of student bodies shake the keys.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything specific to us.
You know?
I have no idea. I know that when I got there freshman year, I was like, "Oh, this is what we do." You don't question it, yeah. And
then you find you watch it somewhere else,
and then you think it's only your
dude.
thing, and then it's like everybody's shaking keys.
Nobody does that.
Yeah.
Right?
ASU doesn't have that many like really specific things. We do have the best like finger thing.
Yeah, if you're trying to,
it's the shocker.
Yeah, if you're trying to meet a sorority chick or something.
But that's the coolest one. You know, it's a good one too. Is the TCU
Horned Frogs?
Horned Frogs is a good one. But ours is just the
Hook'em's not bad.
Hook'em is good. That's true.
Not bad.
I'll give them that.
Hook'em.
This is Aggies. Yig'em. Gig'em. Yeah.
Kill 'em.
Either way, this is USC's.
No one can see us. You know that, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah.
It's just us going back and forth with
either way, the Devils are in the detail. What is it? Sun Devils won on Saturday. I was in the building. I'll tell you right now, I've been here for 9 years, and I've been an adamant fan throughout. Mainly because when you pay tuition that expensive, you better fucking go all in on this sports program.
Steal some books.
But
do what you need to do.
Yeah, never paid for a book all my years. But I that was the biggest win that university has had since Arizona State beat Nebraska with Pat Tillman on the team, 19-0, 96. Went to the Rose Bowl
in the stadium.
This game was the biggest.
Didn't they beat Ohio State at that stadium?
No, they lost to Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. We beat Nebraska when they were fucking Nebraska. You know what I mean? When they were
Tom Osborne,
95 coming off a championship, come on in, and we didn't beat those bastards. We whooped that ass. 19-0.
That's pretty good.
Come on with it.
Come on with it.
But this was huge. I mean, and you know what? Notre Dame, they've probably been better. This is a good team this year, though. I mean, that's a good team. They almost beat Florida State.
Domers?
They almost beat Florida
Domers
State.
came in here a little swagged up. Being a bartender, I saw a lot of Domer fans all weekend. Thursday, Friday, they were in there, dude. And these Domers,
The
there's
Domer
a Domer.
fans?
Actually, Adam Santora was amazing at Grimaldi's before you
Our
guys came
roommate.
in on Thursdays. Our roommate, Adam. He was sitting at the middle of the bar, and there's a Notre Dame fan came in and had 2 glasses of wine within like 10 minutes. He was fucking lush. But he said something like, yeah, man, all my buddies are coming out here. It's probably going to be about 60-40 Notre Dame ASU fans. And I'm like,
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
I can't say that because I'm at work, but I'm like, really? That's what you think it's going to be? And he's like, yeah, man, well, you guys don't know football out here. He's just this like prick from Chicago, like piece of shit.
That was probably the best thing.
A lot of Domers out there, though. There were. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't in that stadium, but there were a lot.
85-15.
It's a lot of Domers. And it got a little loud when they started coming back.
Fuck
But Adam Santoro looked at him and said, hey, man, that ain't happening. It's not going down like you said it is.
Moneyline Santoro.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was great. It was so great. I got to get into the game because my good buddy, who I was a season ticket holder with for 3 years, he had an extra ticket, and and the game moved to 1:30 for ABC.
Beautiful.
And so it primed up because the third ticket went to somebody who had to work till later in the day, to his girlfriend. I shouldn't say somebody. And
somebody,
some broad
shit,
and she couldn't make the game, so he just and it was, I guess it was kind of one of those situations where he had to have that stern conversation with her to just say, look,
dude's crew,
you're not gonna go. Yeah, you're not going to this.
You're not gonna make it.
And, it was great, man. We got fucked up. We brought Jim Beam into the building. I love the Sun Devil Stadium because they don't give a shit. You can bring anything in. Every time I'm always like, are they going to touch me? And then you realize they don't give a shit. They understand it's a dry campus. Get in there.
Yeah.
And you can leave. Re-entry at halftime
That's
is great.
crazy to me.
You just leave. We hit this tailgate. We were next to 2 guys. So where our seats were in the north end zone, and we were sitting next to these 2 guys that had scalped some tickets, $250. These guys paid $250 for these tickets.
Scalped them, damn.
I got it. Yeah, I gave Chris $40 for season tickets. I figured I didn't want to put them out.
So what I'm sorry, maybe I didn't listen early. It was going to be the girlfriend, and then you came.
And I came in because she had to work till 2.
Okay,
Kickoffs at 1:30.
Sorry. Yeah.
Get together. And so these guys that were sitting next to us, you bond, you bump in chest. They were good too. Sometimes you get a couple bad, annoying guys. God forbid, a Notre Dame fans or something. These guys were all in. One of them was alum, and they were cool, and we were fucking screaming,
ready to go.
And at halftime, they were like, "Come on, we got a crazy tailgate." Literally outside of the stadium, like fucking a stone's throw out of the stadium. And then I'm leaving the stadium, and I see our buddy Randy, and I see another buddy that John and I have, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" He's going to the bar. I'm like, "Dude, we're going to the tailgate." He comes in with me. Then we hit this tailgate as 5 guys that don't know the dude running the tailgate, and we hit this cooler real hard,
right?
Real hard. And this dude comes up looking like Goldberg in his prime.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
Yoked up. This dude was big, chest out. And,
he looked like Goldberg in his prime?
You know what? Let's say Goldberg 2 years after his prime.
Still Goldberg.
Beefcake, a little bit more.
Spearing guys.
Yeah, he's not like roided. Yeah, his belly. He had a belly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. You're right. It's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "I know these guys." And then they vouched for us real quick, and we were all good. But there was a moment where that tailgate, that dude that runs the tailgate, who the fuck are you guys?
It is a weird feeling. You ever been in you ever bring a bunch of beer somewhere, and all of a sudden you got some fucking stranger? You're like, "Hey,
dude!" We looked in this cooler, and it was like 100 Bud Lights, and so much fireball. And in my mind, I'm like, we got to hit this fireball. But then fucking Goldberg McGee came over, and I was like, maybe we should chill.
Yeah, let's just have a beer.
Let's just have some beer.
Let's have a beer, yeah.
But it was great. It was great. And then in the third quarter, they almost fucking blew it all. Arizona State is one of those teams that definitely has hit a low in my life before. They've shit on, like the Bengals do, you know? Mm-hmm. And it was good to see that they didn't do that.
You know what they were also celebrating at the game, and we celebrated on Tuesday, was Veterans Day, yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Pat Tillman's an ASU alum.
ASU's got the great, I mean, not the greatest. Everybody's a great veteran. All of them are great heroes. We've just got a unique story about one of them. Is we hold dear to our heart, Pat Tillman.
Absolutely. At some point, you just started sending out pictures of Pat Tillman.
Did I?
Yeah.
On Saturday?
Saturday. You sent me about 2 or 3.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah. No, I wasn't mad at all.
Yeah.
But Veterans Day is one of my favorite days. Because I really do appreciate the people who put their life on the line for our freedom, you know what I'm saying? Especially your good friend Brandon Hunter. Rest in peace. I love that man.
He would have been 28 on the 4th of last week.
Really?
Yes.
28.
Yeah. So, he died back in 08. God bless, Brandon. And Scotty Morrison is also a fellow Sycamore alumni of ours.
Absolutely.
And when Brandon, who was my good friend, passed away in Iraq, Donnie Morrison, Scotty, we called him Donnie, used to sneak us into the Blue Ash Rec Center.
Why did you call him
all
Donnie?
the time? Because we found out English class freshman year that his real name was Donald Morrison.
That's the best.
Doing roll call on
what?
First day.
Who just raised his hand?
Donald Morrison. Me and Bob were like, what? Don? And then, you know me, dude. I just started calling him Donnie.
And his name is, you guys would call Brandon Bobby.
Yeah, Brandon was Bobby. Yeah, we don't, a lot of things don't make sense.
Beep, boop, bop, boop.
Just names. And when Brandon, a.k.a. Bobby, had passed away in Iraq in 08, Donnie, I remember, I'd seen him and he enlisted in his honor. There were other factors, obviously a lot of other factors that went into that, but one of the main reasons was Brandon. He passed away. He was killed in action in Afghanistan probably about a year and a half later after that. And so, yeah, it's Cincinnati, man. Midwest.
And, that's our connection to it. It's just, it's hard. But it's, I respect them so much for what they've done and what they did and what the
people, what
our
they continue
servicemen
to do.
continue to do. Absolutely.
We've got the freedom to be able to say a bunch of shit into a microphone and put it on the internet.
That's right. We're able to do this because they're out there doing that for us.
Yeah, God bless them.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Yeah, salud.
To Bobby. And I'd like to move into something that I know that Bobby would appreciate.
You going into gangster hip-hop?
No. I know exactly what I'm about to go into. And I'm not saying that I don't like Brian Price as a coach, but what I am saying is that I think we need Barry Larkin
Oh, my God.
to be the new manager of the Cincinnati Reds.
John's gone rogue. John thinks that Barry Larkin needs to be in the building.
Hashtag Bob Bloom. I'm going to give Bob Bloom respect for putting it in my head a couple years ago. But I think I just
After 1 year.
what sparked my mind.
Well, yeah, what sparked his mind. Yeah, tell him about that.
Okay, here's my thing. What sparked my mind, I've thought about it before. I've thought about it. But
You don't think I think about that?
I think about it
When
every
I'm
day.
sitting alone in my bed?
Man, what if Barry Larkin was the coach? I do, though. Here's my thing. I read that he was a managerial candidate for the Tampa Bay Rays opening.
Right. Joe Madden.
And what I'm saying...
Joel Madden?
From Good Charlotte? Joel Madden?
Huh.
No. But what I'm saying is that I just think he belongs in Cincinnati. And even if it's not head coach, we need to give him a position in the Cincinnati Reds organization. And what you're saying is that he should be AAA. You haven't said it yet, but what you were saying the other night. But I just don't want him going to Tampa. I don't want him going anywhere else.
All I'm saying is, hypothetically, Barry Larkin has never been a manager ever.
Yeah, but neither was, what's his name with Detroit, Brad Ausmus.
Yeah, but he was a catcher. Might as well be managing a game if you're a catcher.
You don't think Barry Larkin was managing that game? Who was that? Who was managing that game? Eddie Taubensee? Is that what you're going to tell me?
You want to comment Eddie Taubensee like that?
I do.
Those are my favorite
You don't
Reds.
think
One of my
Barry
favorite
Larkin
Reds ever. Benito Santiago? Yeah, he was managing those games.
He was managing the pitcher. Eddie?
Catcher control of the
I
game is
understand.
much larger than a catcher. That's why a catcher translates into a manager much easier. You're talking about Joe Girardi. You're talking about Austin.
Joe Girardi is a shit manager.
Wow, he's one. He's okay. That's all right. You going with that?
Yeah.
All right.
What's
Say
he
what
done?
you will about him. I fucking hate the guy. But Mike Matheny.
No,
Is
I
he
understand. Catchers have a bigger view, but I think that Barry Larkin can connect with our team, and he understands how to
I think
win,
that
win a
Brian
championship.
Price has had 1 year to prove anything. And I also feel like we got shitted on with injuries. I feel like we underperformed in every facet of the game as far as the bullpen goes, as far as offense goes. The only people that came to play were our starting pitchers. God bless you, John Cueto. Don't give Brian Price a fair shake like that. You get more than 1 year to prove yourself in the major league.
I understand. But
at the end of the day,
Fire Brian Price
If he
and
was
hire-
fired and Barry Larkin was our manager,
yeah, what,
I'm all in.
you kidding
I'm
me?
all in. I'm just saying you can't be reactive. And I will also say this. If Tampa Bay goes out there and hires Barry Larkin, more power to him, bold move. What I will also say is after 3 years when it doesn't work out, and maybe Brian Price doesn't work out for us, we're calling Barry Larkin.
I don't want-
You get our second chance in there. He's already learned the ropes. He's failed a little bit. He probably learned some things from it. Get him on up to Cincinnati. Or hire him, because John Riggleman, our AAA coach, is now our third base coach. Hire him as our AAA coach. Let him manage down there for AAA for a couple years. Build these guys up. Be a mentor for some boys. Turn them into men.
I understand what you mean.
I don't think you do.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I don't want him in Tampa at any point.
I don't
give
give a shit.
I don't want him in Tampa.
He knows if we ever call him, he's coming
Who
home.
knows, man? He was mad at us for a very long time.
He wasn't mad at us.
How it ended?
How it ended?
Yeah. He went and worked in the front office for the Nationals.
We didn't have a spot for him. Bobby Bowden always had a
Could
soft
make a
spot
spot for Barry Larkin?
Hey, I'm not getting into this. You know I love Barry. God damn it.
I love you, Barry Larkin. And also, fuck the Cubs. These Cubs fans are out here talking about we got Joel Madden. That's what I'm just going to start calling him Joel Madden.
Good
How about
Charlotte,
that?
man.
Yeah. Joel Madden. Michael Turner has always
Walking
said
on
it
the
to me.
streets of DC.
Mike Turner has always said it best, I think. The name on the front will always hinder the name on the back.
Yeah, the Chicago Cubs.
You're still the Cubs.
You
okay?
are always the
Listen,
Cubs.
all these guys out here, like, we're going to win the World Series because we got Joel Madden. Joel Madden? Stop.
Other things that are going on, fuck the Cubs overall. As far as just big picture with life right now, one thing that we wanted to touch on before the episode's over here, Kim Kardashian's got a little donkey.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you were going there.
Does she not?
I have not seen. I don't know what you're talking about.
Kim Kardashian attempted to break the internet yesterday, and I think every man was like, that is crazy. And I think every woman that saw that was like, that is fake.
Yeah.
That is not what her ass really looks like. But who am I to judge?
Did you call it a RAS? Is that a real ass? Real ass?
RAS?
It looks like?
Did I say that?
I think you did. But what did I think? I saw it, and it's a weird thing to think about because you're like, it looked. I mean, it's a nice.
It checks out.
Yeah, it works out. But at the same time, you're also thinking like she's a mom. What's North gonna think? You know what I mean?
She's
What's
a mother.
North gonna think, dude?
Hey, Demi Moore had rumor in her belly when she was naked on the cover of Vanity Fair.
Yeah, that's true. That is also true. But
Look how she wound up.
well, what I'm saying is, Demi Moore had
Demi
some talent.
Moore's crazy as fuck.
Demi Moore had some acting talent, though.
Oh, yeah.
Kim Kardashian has done nothing but have sex with Ray J.
I always say, I told you how Kim Kardashian became famous.
How's that?
Her father got off a black asshole, and she got off a black dick.
Oh, my God. Oh, you're talking about OJ and Ray J? Oh, wow. I didn't even know that even worked out that way.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so that broke the internet yesterday. And then Chelsea Handler responded with her bare ass.
Which was
great. But yeah, Kim Kardashian trying to break the internet. I don't know. I mean, anytime I get to see that little donkey come out, that's a big ass.
You a butt
and then
guy?
you look at it and you're like, I couldn't handle that.
You a butt guy?
Yeah, I'm an ass man.
I classify myself as an ass man.
Yeah, I would category. I would put myself.
I'd go as far as to say that I'm a butt guy.
What would you say you are?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can like a nice. Who doesn't like a nice butt? You kidding
I
me?
know. I'd never categorize myself because there's guys out there that are just a sucker for a sloppy rack.
There are,
and I'm never that. I mean, I like breasts are important.
They're not important. No, I'm kidding.
They're everything's important. But we love you all, women. We love all of you.
Every single one of you.
Well, as I get older, you're talking about being 27. I'll tell you right now, never been more into shoulders.
Excuse me?
You know what I mean? Just the subtleties of a woman now. Don't you find yourself like
the slope
being
of her
in
neck.
like isn't it like weird shit now? It's like
oh man, the way she talks.
More revealing's less appealing, and I'm more into shoulders and other subtleties.
Her voice.
It
is true. You look. You definitely.
You start just noticing
appreciate
like,
different things as you get older.
I like her hairline. What?
Her hairline.
What is it?
Yeah, I like the hair on her upper lip.
Yeah, shit like that.
That is very nice.
The
way they walk.
The things that you look.
No,
the way they walk.
The way they move. The way
they walk
different.
is a big
when you're
thing.
like 20, you're just like, yeah. You're a monster. You're just. You have no idea what you're even doing. Yeah, you dance. It can be sexy. Other things can be sexy.
There's weird. Yeah. I don't care if you. First of all, if you let them breathe, let them breathe. I'll look. I'm not going to not look. You have them.
Tell them.
But if if you could just dress in a way, you can cover it up, but still look sexy.
No, I don't think that some of them don't realize that the imagination is
a powerful thing.
Yeah, if you don't show
thing.
Everything, you leave some.
That's why I prefer topless nudie bars
to full nude.
Because sometimes the imagination is a better thing.
This is taking a turn.
All right. This is taking a hard turn.
You have derailed.
As I talk about being a gentleman. Nudie bars.
I'm more secure with myself, man. Like, I am who I am at this point.
But I'll still hit a titty bar on a Tuesday. You know that about me.
I have not been to it.
I haven't either. I actually don't. I don't frequent.
We did frequent, or not frequent. We went to Arcade Tavern tonight. Saw Johnny White.
Yeah, that's not a titty bar, but there's a guy that manages there that we know, and he's a beautiful boy.
That's amazing.
He's amazing. He has a story. He's from the same high school as us. He had a crazy, beautiful Pete Rose story.
How good was that?
He saw Pete Rose in Las Vegas, and when he sat down, Pete Rose gets a phone call. And he spends 4 minutes while John, our buddy, is sitting down waiting on an autograph from Pete Rose. He's sitting next to Pete Rose for 4 minutes listening to him talk to his bookie about the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah.
That is a Pete Rose experience.
Yeah, that's
a lot of people would be like, what an asshole. I'd be like, that's
Pete Rose.
That's fucking Charlie Hustle right there. Fucking love that shit.
That's true.
Yeah, that was a cool little story. And what else went on this week? The other thing that tried to break the internet, but it didn't really, but it should have. 18 minutes of a Slaughterhouse and Shady cipher. I don't know if you guys that are listening have heard this or Googled this, but XXL, double XL, I guess it's referred to, put out a video. I think it was through double XL. Either way, it's through Shady. Is obviously owned by Marshall Mathers. So Eminem is involved, along with Slaughterhouse and Yellow Wolf. And they put out a cipher, which was made pretty popular over the past couple years at the BET Awards, where they just fucking rap hot bars.
Well, there were beats.
Not
early
one beat.
on, right?
Not a beat.
Never? Okay. No, I don't mean in this most recent one.
Oh, yeah.
In the early ciphers, they had a beat.
Yeah,
but
this is the first one with no beat.
But there's no beat in this one. That's what I'm saying.
And just bars.
It's pretty crazy.
Bars. They could have built a prison with as many bars as they dropped.
My personal favorite, is is Eminem. And he, because that's what I loved him when he was that angry. And I'm not saying that he's only good when he's
42.
angry. But he's doing it, dude.
I know.
He was really, really good. And he's really angry. And he's got some things to say.
He goes for 6 minutes. And he talks about everything. Mm-hmm. He breaks down the last 18 months of not only society, what's going on in the world a little bit. No, he doesn't touch on Syria. But who could?
In the cipher, it's tough to touch.
But he even talks. I think he says some shit about ISIS in that.
He does, yeah.
And dude, he just fucking talks. And obviously, it's it's the Eminem style, but it's fucking vicious.
He's angry, dude. I just love when he'll say something. And Royce, what's great about a cipher is there's normally somebody else with them.
Well, only theirs though. They were chilling because they're both in Detroit.
Or Crooked Eye had 2 or 3 people, or he had like 6 people behind him. But it's just when Royce goes, it's Eminem just standing behind him, just staring. And then when they say something that's so ridiculous that they make their boy crack, it's funny. It's funny.
Royce does well. Joe Budden gets real personal.
Always.
Joe Budden
when does he not get personal?
Yeah, Joe Budden is on some other shit, but he's also that is the best thing about the Joe Budden freestyle is. In all honesty, he's going through a lot of things right now. Yeah. And he talks about some of those things, and he doesn't give a fuck about hip-hop right now because he's got real shit to go through. So that's the human side of Joe Budden. Yellow Wolf, I kind of snoozed on. But if you're into Yellow Wolf, I've heard
Yellow Wolf.
I don't really like Yellow Wolf either. Joel Ortiz is one of those guys you can listen to, and you're just like, ugh. He makes you just go, ugh. That is some nasty shit. But Eminem and Royce, I think, are two of they're two of the best ever. But there's Eminem's verse is one of those verses where you do that Tom Jackson. You're just like,
Absolutely. Very good verse. Impressed. I love you, Eminem. Keep it up.
That shit was hot. They got a new album. That's why they're hyping it, because they got a new album coming out next month. So, as well as, and we began this episode with DJ Premier and Guru, Royce 5'9" and DJ Premier have an album coming out December 9th called Prime. And, yeah, that's going to be real nice.
How old is DJ Premier?
I looked it up recently. 48, I want to say.
Ah, he's got to be close to 50.
Getting up to 50.
That's crazy.
But, man, does he love hip-hop. And,
so
we can actually... Yeah, we could. You know what? We might close it out on. We could do that track.
Sure.
It's called Courtesy, and it's by. They're calling themselves Prime, and obviously it is DJ Premier and Royce da 5'9", and Prime is spelled with a Y.
Of course.
To play off the word rhyme. You getting me? Are you with me? And. Yeah, let's do that real quick.
I'm into it, dude.
But, John, any closing thoughts, John?
You know what? Let's get a W on Sunday. We're going to be at Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers. We're going to watch it with the Houday crew. If anybody's out there want to join us, please come through. Let's get some positive energy flowing for the Bengals. I'd love to see a W on Sunday.
Positive energy, and also to coincide with that necessary positive energy. Arizona State Sun Devils are number 6 in the nation right now.
It's big.
And if they win out, there's no reason they shouldn't be in the Final Four.
Let's just beat
Oregon State. Capital F, capital I, capital F. But what they need to do in order to do that is win this weekend. CTG.
Coach Todd Graham.
Coach Todd Graham's got him focused for this game. And blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. And Arizona State needs to win this weekend. They're going to Corvallis. Tough place to play always. So God bless the Sun Devils. God bless the Cincinnati Bengals. And
hey, God bless you, man.
God bless you, John.
Absolutely, brother.
And, God bless DJ Premier and Royce 5'9". This is Prime, and this is Courtesy. And
much love.
God bless, and have a good week, everybody.
I like this one. Just let it go, Pray. V06 vet, gripping, feeling almost there. Listening to Bon Jovi, rolling, living on a prayer. Privy to the gossip that's been said about me constant. It's the life and times of Bumpy Johnson meets Nucky Thompson. I used to rap about death, now I'm only concerned to live. I value relationships still, I keep it competitive. Nowadays, chances are that if you see me throw the match, it ain't to lose the fight, it's to walk away from a burning bridge. I'm from a family of alcoholics and coke addicts. Daddy taught me if the ass is so fat, it's a fact that if you with your hoe, don't matter, it's still appropriate to scope at it. Living life with no balance, driving drunk on co-pilot, driving till I total it. I'm trying to stay afloat, but I got nobody to throw a rope at it. The game is just a game of splits and politics with no ballot. All kind of clips with more malice than pushing. If you profiling, there'll probably be more violence than looking. I'm so stylish, but I ain't talking eBay. No high fashion either. If you catch me by the runway, it's the one that's for the PJ. This one is for my lyricist, courtesy of my DJ. I can't control it, can't hold it, it's so nuts.
Hustle hard in any hustle that you pick. I respect that.
I done had a lot of niggas say they wanna hurt me. Somehow, some way, they just end up at my mercy. Just show some courtesy.
Hell yeah, nigga, you know, niggas still got it.
Need that shit. I got killers round the way, ready to move that work for me. Niggas wanna ride my wave, bitches wanna surfboard me. All I want is courtesy. Who cares about the radio? And you can take the cassette deck from off of your old boombox and it wouldn't matter. It's still squares on your radio to keep your wealth. I learned to stay to yourself. I call for charge, tell them spray paint a mural in Watts. With me spray painting the mural of Miracle Watts. Shout out to Michael, 5,000 watts. I'm on that lean movement like I'm out here trying to box. Look, nigga, this is a boss thing. Meaning you getting the lace dot to your offspring. I'm a lost being. Try to cross me without falling off, I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not, like a drawstring. I'm preaching to the congregation like I'm Peter Popoff. If you can imagine me hopping up out of the cabin like I'm one of the Dukes of Hazzard, like fuck it, lead the top off like time for foreplay. That last line that was before you, time like Big Ben sitting in Beyonce doorway while I'm receiving Four Seasons Norwegian top in Norway. Listening to rappers kick knowledge that they probably got from Torrey. These Michael Eric Dyson niggas claiming they king, not knowing the kind of drama that bring. I'ma be the first established rapper to hop in that battle rap ring, turn at the Gatling. My next album gon' be so dark and so fly, I should CD package it wrapped in bat wings. These so trained music award actors, rock fakers, wrestling, dressed bottom to top in leather, looking like bacon and Vaseline. How you looking like beef jerky, beefing in every verse but never beefing in person? Randy Savage, you wouldn't snap a Slim Jim, you wouldn't rip a rapping on Christmas in Santa's attic with the hands of Eddie Scissors, and you average. Put your motherfucking hands up. My job is to move the crowd, move the motherfucking crowd. Put your motherfucking hands up.
I respect that.
Prime.
This has been another great presentation by the 4-Eyed Radio Network. You can find more information at 4eyedradio.com.